Right, so got my new caster wheels. Sec, I've got to plug the charge lead in. Otherwise it'll run down. So, I'll just switch the camera the other way. Come on. Switch. Stupid thing. Right, hang on. Okay, so I fixed, actually done 3 now. I've actually done 3 wheels as I typed it in the chat, in the description there's been 2. So this is the 3rd, but so I've got to take, I'm trying to make it stronger. Now this one on this corner is still possible. I've got to put the thing on. It's the one on this corner, I don't think it's very strong, and that's, if my friend comes around and sits down like an elephant, it's going to break. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to have to lift the chair up and stack it with something so I can get that one out, because I want to swap it out. I think I can use these to prop up my sofa on this end. I think it's this one that wants to be swapped out. I can't remember now. I think I recently, I recently repaired it, and it's, hang on. Oh, it's hard to lift it up. I can only just get the damn thing out. Yeah, this one was, it's not broken, but it broke before, and I've stuck it all back together. And it was a bit ad hoc, because as you can see, it's got orange wheels and white body. So I'd patched this all up with glue on the back, because it was a weak spot on the back, and it broke. This bit split right down the middle, and this new one, it's 100% infill. It's a lot stronger. So I've got to get this out. Where's my pliers? Hopefully I can get it out. Stick some acetone in that hole. Hopefully I'll get it out. But if I can turn that nut, should be able to twist it and get it out. Got to get this metal thing out first. I think it's coming. I've got to get the metal bits out. Yeah, it's a nightmare. I've got to give it a second for the acetone to work, do its magic. If I stick my cutting thing in the back there, I might have to prise it off. Let's see. I might have to stick this in the vise. It's coming. Yeah, it's coming off slowly. Yeah, I'm gonna have to get this. I've got it up a bit, but the acetone softens up the plastic just a little bit. It's hard work. I'm going to go in the other room a minute. So I've got the phone on charge, so I can't move it. I'm going to be back in a sec. I can't get the damn thing off. Even the vise and the claw hammer, I used the claw hammer underneath it, it just won't budge, so I've got to soak it a bit. See what's happened when I stuck it together, I used acetone to help me get it in. So what's happened, there's a little, this steel thing, the steel post that goes through it. It's got a little notch in the end, like a little cutaway, and plastic's got behind that notch, and it's hooked in there, like it's really keyed in there. So the only way to get that out is to soften it up with the acetone a bit. It's melting the plastic a bit there. So I've just got to let it soak through a bit. I'll just keep trying with the pliers. Because if it won't budge with these, it won't budge with the vise either. It does come a bit off, but oops. So all I can really do is keep turning it, because that makes the acetone soak down. If I can screw it off, as in keep corkscrewing it off, it will come off eventually. it's coming. Slowly but surely. Ah, my hand is killing me. There we go. Oh, got you at last. Just took a while to get it. You see that little bit there on the end? There's a groove. And you can see the plastic around that rim there. There's another notch there, and that's what was holding it in. Oh, got you, right. So I've got to repeat the process. I'll take these wheels out a minute to put it on this one. So putting it in is easier because I can usually hammer it. So I'm going to push that on the end just to stop the acetone leaking out the other end, because I've got to pour some acetone down there to soften it, and it's the same process in reverse. I don't want it running all the way down there. Right, so that softens it, and then it goes in because it's ABS plastic. So there we go, it's going. You see, if you drill these out, I haven't got a drill big enough anyway, but if you drill them out, well, I've got a drill big enough, but it's too big. It's in between two different sizes, that's a problem. If you drill them out though, you end up with a problem where it's too big, and then the thing wobbles about and you don't get a solid seat. So this is the best way of doing it. There we go, got it. So this one also is on, and it won't fall out. So the only thing I have to recycle is the metal parts, really. So I'm going to get the my knife. I'm going to get the drive shaft out of the wheels now. These are a bit wobbly, but this one's going to be a lot stronger. A damn sight stronger than this one was, because this is slightly infill. I mean, it's low infill, I mean. I don't know what to use on that. I use my knife. Bigger knife. I don't want to cut my finger off. I put some plastic over the end to stop the shaft from falling. The drive shaft from falling off. There we go, I've got most of it off. It's so that when the wheels are rotating, the shaft doesn't work its way out and pop out, and then the whole thing would just collapse on itself. Well, I can't see the end of the shaft. Try this one. Ah, I can see the end of that one. So if I can see the end of one end, now I should be able to push it out. I just to loosen that a bit. Get my pointy hook thing, because I'm going to push into the shaft and pull back. There we go, there, I've got it. So there's my shaft. Got you. Take my wheels out. Well, I'm going to leave them in there actually. That's the old one. So I've got two old ones that I've replaced. This will be the second old one I'm replacing with a nice strong one. And put my wheels in. Obviously I need a bit of acetone. I need to clean this shaft because it's all gooed up. It's sticky as heck, and the wheels don't rotate so well if it's stickied up. Okay, that's all clean. I can't get through the middle. Try it on the other side. There's a bit of swap in there. Hang on. I'll just see if I can get this in without the wheel. Yeah. Right. These little nubs go on the inside because they rest on against this plastic ledge in case there's too much weight, so it doesn't break the shaft or bend it or anything. I should really get it in now. What's the count at that end? I could wiggle it about to get it located. It's going. There we go. It's a tight fit, so I don't. There we go. Oh, that's really tight. That's good. It's better tight than loose. The wheels are rubbing on somewhat, so I'm going to put some plastic gear grease on there. Let me just find my. Stick that a bit more. Push that a bit further through. Right, so I have a little bit of a recess on each side so I can put some glue in there. Right. Return. This is still drying out a bit, actually, this one, but it's not going to be on. I'm not going to be sitting on that end, so it's going to be alright in situ. It'll dry. It's hard enough. I did this one yesterday, printed it out yesterday. Right, so I need to put a bit of glue. On the end. My ABS slurry. Just like I did the other ones. It's just to capture it so it doesn't fall out. Got a bit too much on this end. So what I'll do is I'll scrape the extra off because I ended up with it all on my hands. It's drying already. Actually, it might be better if I use my scissors because I can't. It needs to be pinched off really, like that. That's the one. So I just took the surplus off. That'll dry. It'll be dry in an hour or two. Right. Now all I need is some plastic gear grease on the pins. Where's that? Where did I put that? I think it's over here. Ah, there you are. I'm hooked up. Right. That's better. Great, all sorted. Yeah, my friend Ken on Discord chat, he was asking about, he was saying it'd be interesting to see how well these new wheels hold up. Well, so far so good. The one on the corner, I've currently got something propping up the sofa at the moment because I was letting it dry. But I think I can take it out now. So the one on this end, I've got some stuff under there holding some of the weight. I'm going to take them out now. There we go. So I had these two early design things up on one of my generators, holding 2 bricks basically, holding that end up. Now I've taken them out, so it's fully on wheels now. So it'll roll once I get the other caster back in. So now all I've got to do is put this caster back in over there, and it'll be fully on wheels. And this is already drying, by the way. I can touch it. Oh, it's actually still a bit sticky, but right. There's no reason why I can't put it in now though, because I'm not sitting on that end, so it's not exactly heavy. But I acetone treated this, and if you remember the previous one I did, which is still over there, look, I haven't used it. This is the one I did earlier, look. Now when I did this one, the acetone, it shrunk because there was hollow pockets inside here, right? So this collapsed in on itself because it was hollow. And I haven't used this one, but it's a spare one for if one of the others break, one of the weaker ones. Also that hollowed out at the back because there wasn't enough infill, because the acetone made it collapse in on itself, so the air pocket that was inside there has collapsed in. So I haven't used this one, but it's still stronger than the original ones. So this is a spare one, which I can use if I need it. Because let's face it, sometimes you get people that are like really heavy, and sometimes they sit down too hard. And we didn't have this trouble though when we had metal casters, but in saying that I'm telling a lie, because I think years and years ago I do remember a sofa we had, and we had aluminium casters. They were all metal, and one was broken on it, so even aluminium ones can break. These are more flexible because if they break, you can stick them back together with acetone. You can melt the plastic and it sticks back together. But when your aluminium one breaks, that's it. Unless you've got an aluminium welding torch to weld them back together again, or even then, they don't stick. If you super glue them, they don't work so well. But the good thing about the plastic ones is I can 3D print more when I need one, so save myself some money. So generally speaking, the modern stuff, it doesn't last you very long, you know. So that pin, even though I've got plastic on the end, has moved, so I'm going to push it back a bit. So I'm not moving the sofa around, so I'm just going to stick this in as it is, and the weight will just keep it. Actually, maybe I shouldn't do that, because if it's soft there, it might push that shaft in. It might collapse the wheels on the bearing. So yeah, I'll put it in later. I just let that dry for a while, but I like the white ones. I think the white ones look cool. It's a shame I don't have any white glue. I haven't made any white ABS glue yet, but yeah, I'll have to melt some white stuff. I haven't got any scrap support material kicking about yet, so I haven't got any made up. I mean, I've got different colours. I've got, as you know, I've got loads of red. I've also got some blue kicking about, but I haven't got any white stuff yet. So that's some blue that when I used to use blue filament. Well, that's even darker than the red, pink, whatever. So yeah, I'll have to dissolve some ABS white stuff at some point. I'll get some white scrap plastic, I'm sure, and I'll just dissolve it in ABS in acetone and then make some white glue. It's probably better for this anyway. It doesn't stand out, but you can't see these when they're on anyway. They're underneath. You can't see them. So yeah, I'd like to put it on now, but because it's soft there, it'll weaken this load bearing area, and it might push the shaft into it, and I don't want to lower my I don't want the wheels to start rubbing on the inside of the hub, if you know what I mean. But this feels really hard, a lot harder than the original ones. You can tell when you tap it, it's a lot harder. Listen to the sound of that compared to the sound of this one. It has a different sound. Listen to that one. That sounds harder. That one sounds hollow. That is definitely a lot harder. So we should be good with that. I did think about scaling these up. It'd be easy to do that. The actual model, I could scale it to 1.5 times. That would mean that the whole thing would be slightly bigger. It would be 1.5 times bigger. The wheels would also be bigger. It would lift the sofa higher up. And the advantage of doing that, if I made it bigger, is that I would have a bigger gap underneath my sofa, so that if I drop stuff and I can't reach it, I can stick my arm under the sofa and grab it. And you know, when you drop stuff, like, you know, you're always looking for it, and you can't get your arm under the sofa because it's too tight. It's like 1.5 to 2 inches space under the sofa like that, you know. But if it was higher up, you know, about that high, I could easily reach under. Plus I can get the robot, if it was high enough, I could get the robot vacuum to go underneath the sofa and vacuum up, because that's another thing I was thinking about. So maybe, I'll see how these do anyway, but maybe in a few weeks or a month or two, I might 3D print some really big wheels. It's probably going to use a lot of filament though. I mean, we're talking about wheels that are big enough to lift the sofa off the floor, about what, that or so, you know, from this end to there. That way it would lift it so high that my robot vacuum could get underneath and vacuum underneath there, because it's a pain in the ass, because you got to move the sofa out of the way just to vacuum underneath it. You see, it's just a lot of messing about. But if it was higher, and I wouldn't be sitting so low to the floor as well. So yeah, that's the only issue. Is how high do you want to sit off the floor? Yeah. Anyway, that's it. Thanks for watching. Oh, that's the point. Sometimes my live streams don't end. I have to go to YouTube and end them. Sometimes I don't know why. Sometimes they just don't end when I press the stop button. But fingers crossed.